I have learned, and I still am learning to work with the critic. First of all, the main like emotion, the main feelings that we should be having are not feelings of like fear. And those are usually where the critic's coming from. And if you can get to these feelings of like love and acceptance and curiosity, when you get there, then you know that your critic is still with you. I mean, they never leave you, but they are able to transform into something that's not fearful. What I constantly am asking myself lately, and this actually comes from a near death experience I read, but it's helped me, is what would it like for me to live fearlessly today? That's where I'm trying to be. That's what I ask myself several times a day. It helps me to kind of keep on track of living without the fear and living into the curiosity. That's been helping me lately. I also try and remind myself to not suppress my children and my little children in me, but to let them out, to have the like wonder, to not let this world turn me into a grumpy old man, because that's what it turns me into all the fucking time. And so I want to learn how to keep that child energy, and that's where I'm at. Don't have any kind of fear and don't have any kind of judgment towards your judge, but just acceptance and love, and take it from there. But how about you? What would be your answer to that question?
Yes, a lot of the times a similar question comes up for me is, am I doing this because of fear or am I doing this because of love? And I want to live in motivation of love, not motivation of fear. So not exactly being fearless, but being loveful is what I'm working with. And so it takes a certain level of awareness that is really hard to cultivate throughout the day. Takes a lot of intentional pausing to remember like I'm not just living on autopilot and I have free will to take a moment and tend to my own heart. We have a sign up. I just hand wrote it, but it just says, have you said hi to your heart today? As this reminder that, I feel like our minds tell us so many stories and they really get us locked into the narratives and the shame-based motivation. And our hearts do a lot of the untangling and the open spaciousness of
Hmm.
surrender and vulnerability. So remembering to drop the awareness from my head down into my heart is a constant practice. I taught yoga for many years, and something that I think about and I use as a reminder is like, when you're in a balance pose in yoga, if you're in tree, which is like one foot on the ground and one foot is up on your leg, and you attain balance, right, for the like 30 seconds, like you don't always have balance after that. You do not attain something one time and then have it forever. It is a constant,
Right.
continual practice. You may go to the next time you go onto your mat and you can't do tree for shit. And it's not because you're any worse than you were the last time. It's because we are constantly changing and there's always something changing within us and outside of us. And so
100%. Yeah.
remembering that it doesn't need to be perfect to be good, and it doesn't need to be successful to be worthy. And that
Hmm.
in and of ourselves, the one true crucial thing that we can do is turning over the fear-based actions we have throughout the day to love-based actions. And that's what I feel like is the most effective and something we can do every day, because it doesn't require you to read anything. It doesn't require you to consume anything. It's literally just going like, wow, like I'm feeling really overwhelmed for a sec. I'm just going to put my hand on my heart and be with myself for 10 seconds, and then I'm going to keep going.